anyone can hear this, just know this is not the end. We're coming back. It's happening. And you won't believe what's next.
You know what? My family is safe and healthy. I'm happy to report we're here at home. My kids are doing school from home. My little one is tearing up the place. It's a lot, but honestly, everyone is going through a lot. So my heart goes out to everyone who is trying to lead a somewhat, quote unquote, normal life, considering what we're all dealing with. I can say, since our season was so unceremoniously shut down last year by the provincial lockdown.
Since you guys have been sequestered with us, the virus has continued to spread worldwide.
It has been really wonderful to be able to focus on bringing our show back, because I think it's like at this point, it's a public service. Like, people are at home. People are trying to get through it. People, on one hand, are more used to it than they've ever been before. And then on the other hand, people are very much over it and are willing to kind of do anything they can to, not get too in their heads about what's happening. And I think some quality escapism, especially one that is as layered as Big Brother Canada, I think is really important to a lot of people. I know I'm looking forward to it, and so in some ways, yeah, it did help me get through the pandemic then. I'm very, very comfortable in my role as a host. As you know, I am extremely passionate about this show, about this game, about this international community that we have. But I think getting deeper in terms of the creative and casting absolutely will help me be a better host. And I think all of the intel that I've gained over the years being part of this community, being deeply involved in this community, reading everything, listening to everything, watching multiple Big Brother versions around the world, I think all of that is also helping me as a producer. And we have an amazing team already. So all I know is we all help each other up our game. And that is something that I think is very apparent with our show. And that's one of the reasons why we're still on the air in season 9, is because we really, really care about innovating. We care about all of the smallest details and the biggest ones. So I am Black. I have seen and heard, I feel like I've seen and heard it all. I've seen the reasons why people don't think that we can see a greater range of people on our screens. I've seen those people line up around the block to say why we can't do it, why we shouldn't do it. I've seen people say, oh no, I just have a vision. Lin-Manuel Miranda, you know how many rooms he must have been laughed out of before he created Hamilton. Like, I think I've seen so many things, I've had so many conversations, and for so long it's kind of seemed like, yeah, what a great idea, but unfortunately we're just looking at demographic numbers here where we are. But I think we can do more. I think we have an ability and we have a responsibility to make sure that nobody feels in this country, nobody feels like they don't exist, that they don't see themselves reflected on our screens, that they're seen as tokens or just something to sprinkle on top. I think that true equity is being able to feel like you belong everywhere, especially for a show that young people watch like Big Brother Canada. If you can see it, you can be it. And I think it's important, it's valuable to see a range of different kinds of people that you can root for and against and see work together and against each other, all of that. And I feel like when you start changing the numbers, especially in a game that is based on numbers like Big Brother, I think you have different outcomes. And I think that is really, really important. And I think it's something that we can do to encourage not just people who watch the show and young people, but also other productions and even other networks, that it can be done. And ultimately, we're making great entertainment. And that doesn't have a race or a gender or a religion or a creed. So that's what we're here to do. We're here to make great TV and also show that a lot of the old rules that we've been taught can't be changed. They absolutely can be changed. We got more people than ever. We definitely worked on making sure people knew that we were trying to make our tent even bigger this year in terms of casting, in terms of not just like culture and race and ethnicity, but also regionally. We really wanted to sort of cast this huge net. And in some ways, it was easier for people to apply for the cast because they didn't have to come to an in-person casting session. Everything was virtual. But on the other hand, yeah, there's lots of people who are dealing with things that you may or may not know that they're dealing with. This is a very strange time. And so we were actually really grateful that we had so many people that were interested in being part of the season coming up, because I feel like not only is it kind of a minor miracle that in Canadian television we are here in season 9, this is semi unheard of, but also that there is this much hype going into the season. Like, it's actually incredible, and we are so grateful for it, and we are working so hard, our team, every single day to make sure we are going to give you exactly what you need. I just heard that. I love it so much. That's a really interesting question. I think we don't really know how it's going to play out. You put your life on pause because we had to. You know, we live in Ontario. I've had to put my life on pause. Lots of people have now, they have that experience where maybe before not everybody had that experience, right? However, we have technology, right? We have our smartphones, we have our computers, we have our tablets, we have, our TV, we've got all this media. So in some ways, we are much more experienced with the lockdown life, but being in the Big Brother house means you are away from all the people that you can trust. You're with people that you may think you can trust, but you don't know that you're with people that you can trust, one. And two, they have no technology. So, and that's something that other house guests have said before in the past, that forget the game. The most unusual experience, or the most unusual part of their experience, is having to talk to people from morning until night, never getting a break from those people and having zero distractions. And strangely, how nice that is, because especially younger people cannot remember what that was like, or maybe they weren't alive when it was like that. I remember that, but I'm a woman of a certain age. So I think it's very interesting seeing that in some ways the pandemic life has really prepared people for the Big Brother house, but there is still nothing like it. So anything could happen. I'm going to be on set during the live shows, but it's very much, again, our protocol, our COVID protocols are so strict, and we are all so observant of them because we are so grateful to have the show, to have a job, to be able to do this for Canadians. We're so careful. So that unfortunately means we won't be having live audiences, which, if you've ever seen a live show, I really, really enjoy. That being said, I know that people are just on their couches, and I'm going to pretend they're all in the studio with me, and they won't be. I think you will. I think you can. I think you may have seen some of those touches already. It's interesting. It's like it's a language. Like, I speak super fast. You know what I mean? So there's definitely a couple things that you're going to see that I'm really excited about that you may see later on in the season. I also just love that we're seeing a completely different beginning of the game. I think that is so important. But Big Brother has always been like that. Like, let's do something totally different. I don't know, one year, let's have like no furniture and they have to earn back their things. We've done, you know, things that make no sense before. But I very much am aware of all kinds of things. Amazing ideas are generated by the fandom, and some terrible ideas are also generated by the fandom. They might not know they're terrible, but they are. But I consume so much of the critical analysis of the show, and I have so much fun with it that I'm always taking notes. So yes, there definitely are some touches throughout the season. But again, like our team is like lockstep. Like we all really believe in each other and we're all pushing each other to be as great as we can be because the streets is watching. The BB Streets is watching, Nelson.